Hey everybody, Doug Reynolds here, your College-Glen neighborhood specialist. I live in College Greens as well as I used to live in Glenbrook, and that property is a rental property now. I've been specializing in the neighborhood for quite a few years now, and I'm usually in the top, 2 or 3 agents over the past 4 or 5 years for the neighborhood. And this is your quarterly update for our neighborhood of College Greens and Glenbrook, and it's for the third quarter 2013. So take a look at the numbers here you can see on the graph, just representing the amount of sales for the third quarter, and then comparing that to the second quarter, so the last quarter, and then comparing it to a year ago's quarter as well. We can kind of get a look at what's been happening in the market over the last year or so. So in the third quarter there was 38 properties that sold in our neighborhood. And one of the important things to look at is there was only one bank-owned sale. That's REO, that stands for real estate owned. That's the term for bank-owned or foreclosure property. There's only one of those. There was only one short sale that closed in the quarter, and there was 36 equity sales. So that's a huge difference. If you look back, you can see the trend that's been happening. Last quarter, only 28 properties sold, one bank-owned, 3 short sales, and 24 equity. But look at a year ago, with the 31 sales that we had, there was 6 bank-owned sales, there was 8 short sales, and only 17 equity sales. So we're seeing a huge shift. What's been happening, if you look down at the next thing, is the pricing. From a year ago, our average price is now up $50,000. So we've been able to have so many homeowners in our neighborhood have now gained equity, and we're able to have regular normal sales going on rather than foreclosures, short sales, things like that. We've been seeing a lot of positiveness going on with values increasing in our neighborhood over the past year and a half, with just a lot of positive sales going on. So I just quickly already hit on that the average sales price has been going up for about a year and a half. You can see the numbers there. We're up to basically about $275,000 is the average property in the neighborhood. And then with that, the way the market's been this crazy seller's market over the past year and a half, we've been seeing days on the market. How long a house has been on the market before it gets into escrow, that's significantly been dropping as well. You can see all the way down to 17 days. So that's what's been going on. But now currently, kind of where we're at and moving forward, things have started to kind of slow down a bit. We were just going crazy for the past year and a half. And then at the beginning of June, interest rates shot up quite a bit, and that kind of shocked buyers a little bit. So things kind of slowed down then at the beginning of June, and now we're starting to see that happening as we're in the fourth quarter here of 2013. So for our neighborhood right now, inventory has been starting to go up. For a while there was basically 1-2 houses on the market. As soon as it came on, bam, it was sold. That's not the case anymore. We've got 5, 6, 10, 12 properties on the market now that are priced pretty well. They're just not really priced quite good enough yet. So there's some houses on the market that are sitting, a little bit more inventory out there. So if you're a buyer looking in the neighborhood, it's been the best time to buy in the neighborhood in probably almost 2 years now that there's actually some choices out there. If you're a seller, don't panic. The thing is, there's 3 things that you need to do that I focus on with my sellers in our neighborhood, okay? First of all, the house needs to show well. So I'll work with you to go through the property. We'll talk about, I've got a great painting team. If we need to have a painter come through and kind of mute some of the colors, if we need to have the place clean, or maybe just change something out. I'm not talking about spending tons of money, but it needs to show well. It needs to be clean. We need to declutter, depersonalize the property, okay? So number 1, it needs to show well. Number 2, it needs to be priced right. And the way this market is right now, it needs to be priced right. There's no point in testing the market high. Oh, we might get lucky, this and that. You end up shooting yourself in the foot, because when you come on the market too high, buyers out there are so educated now with the internet. They know when something's high, and it'll just sit, and then you'll eventually have to come down to a lower price than where you would have sold it. If you priced it right from the start, you would have got the buyer's attention, they would have been excited about the property, and there would have been competition for the property. So it needs to be priced right. Obviously, I'd be working with you to talk about the pricing, since I've sold a number of homes in the neighborhood, as well as I'm previewing everything as well too. And then thirdly, it needs to be marketed well. So if you don't work with me to list your property in College Greens or Glenbrook, whoever you pick, make sure you're picking an agent that's going to market the property really well for you. It needs to be all over the internet, virtual tours, great flyers, amazing photos. I have a professional photographer that goes there and takes great photos. You need those three things if you're a seller right now in our neighborhood. If we were talking in the spring 2013, I would have said, hey, just put it on, it looks fine as is, let's put it way up here, it'll sell, no problem, and it would have happened. But now's the time you need to do the right things to get your house sold in the neighborhood. So buyers out there, there's inventory, sellers, there's still buyers looking, but there's a lot more competition because there's more homes on the market, so you need to differentiate yourself in those ways. So check out my website, College-Glen.realestate.com. Tons of information on what's been going on in the neighborhood in regards to real estate, past sales, everything is there for you. As well as you can connect with me on my blog, my YouTube channel, my Facebook page. Feel free to give me a call or an email if you're in the neighborhood or you're wanting to get into the neighborhood. I love working with buyers or sellers in our neighborhood. It's a passion of mine. I love our neighborhood. I think it's a great place to live. So I would love to either have you become a new neighbor of mine, or if you already are a neighbor and unfortunately you got to relocate, I'd love to help you out with that too. So have a great fourth quarter to 2014. I'll see you at the beginning of 2013. I'll see you at the beginning of 2014 for the review for the last quarter in our neighborhood. Clear skies.